Whatever happened to Robot Jones? It's a legit good question. I'd be so curious. It was an interesting show. It's a lot lesser known than other cartoons of the early 2000s, but it's essentially about a robot who has to navigate the social hell of middle school and trying to figure out how humans work. It's a slice of life show. The thing I remember about it that I really like looking at it again is its artwork. I love the design of the main character. It's so simple and yet so striking. Got a strong silhouette. And I like this sketchy vibe it has. The colors are interesting. It has this really cool, older feel. It's very similar to Schoolhouse Rock. I like the alternate vibe it has. Sadly, though, the funniest, wasn't really anything groundbreaking. It does look cool, but there wasn't really as much in the storytelling. I mean, it's not bad or awful or anything. It's just, there's just nothing really spectacular about it either. And I think that's why it had a short run. And as you know, as I mentioned earlier, the main character's voice, if you grew up with this, you'll remember, the original voice was done by a computer, and it fit the design really well. It was a deeper voice, and very fitting for a robot, but then they redubbed it with a human actor, and I'm not saying the human actor's bad or anything, it's just, the robot voice was so good, and it fit the design really well. And why did they dub him? I really liked it. Apparently it was, at least according to TV tropes, it was too weird and not Hollywood enough. Darn it. Really like the robot voice. Could have had the first Vocaloid actor, the first computer actor, darn it. Could have been so ahead of its time. Looking back at it, I watched a couple clips of it and I saw some people talk about it. And I definitely remember a couple times of the antagonists winning. There's some twins particularly. It seemed like everybody gave Robot Jones hell, and I remember a couple times that the show would end on a sad note. There's one episode in particular where these twins who bully Robot Jones cheat at a Rubik's Cube competition and they get away with it. No repercussions, Robot never finds out what happened. It's just him trying to solve this Rubik's Cube with the stickers switched. And, oh god, that was hard to watch as a kid. There's another downer episode where Robot has to communicate with a Scantron machine to get everyone's test answers in order for them to cheat on tests, and the Scantron falls in love with Robot, and it dies of a broken heart at the end. Yes, spoiler alert, but, I mean, the show's already how many years old now? Yeah, I definitely remember I don't remember it being particularly funny. It wasn't particularly groundbreaking. It's just kind of an okay show, which is a bit of a shame because it did have such a unique look to it. So what if it embraced some of the cliches a bit more? Maybe that's why it had a relatively short run. But I think it is getting a bit of a resurgence. People remember it. And I did watch it. I watched quite a few episodes. And I certainly didn't think it was bad at the time. Looking back, I think, yeah, it's okay. I mean, I like the look of it most of all. I like the designs, I like the colors, I like that sketchy look. It's so cool. It's so interesting. And it's got such a personality visually. And kind of a shame that there wasn't more going on with it. Yeah, and I remember the voice acting being really fun too. I liked the parental units, Robot Jones's parents. His dad would repeat himself, listen to your mother, listen to your mother, listen to your mother. They had really cool voices, very gendered designs, but there was an older feel to this show, so that it made sense. It was kind of had something, a little bit of the Jetsons influence in the parents' designs, which is kind of fun. Yeah, there's really not too much I can say about it. It's... Oh, wait. Actually, I looked up some cool art on DeviantArt because I do like the look of it so much. I was looking up fan art, and I saw that Robot Jones is frequently shown dating Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot. I just realized, yeah, there's some similarities with them there. Oh, and Jenny was so adorable. I liked My Life as a Teenage Robot a lot. But they're both outcasts, and it seems like, yeah, a lot of people picked on these two characters, which was hard to watch sometimes, but especially because Jenny especially was so likable, but the fan art shows they're happy and adorable together, which is nice to see. So go fandoms. And I've also seen fan art of Robot Jones being friends with Courage the Cowardly Dog and Dexter from Dexter's Lab. That was adorable. And yeah, there is a bit of a similarity there too, with the type of outcast that Robot Jones and Dexter are. I could see them getting along. Robot Jones definitely has a bit of this 80s nerd, a quirky, super intelligent at a time when it was less cool thing going on. Yeah. So they definitely had an outcast for just him as what he is, and also just his hyper intelligence. I'm curious as to how many people actually remember this show, because now that at least in the animation community, I think it's more known. Now the title of the show has become a legitimate question. What did happen to Robot Jones? Because it kind of just came and went. I remember the promos. I remember the show. But then it just left very, very quietly. I don't remember a lot of people being disappointed. I don't remember a lot of people cheering. I know this show has its fans. I don't think it has a backlash or anything. So like I said, there's nothing really wrong with it. At least nothing that I've seen rewatching and nothing that I really remember. But hopefully, visually, I would like to see more. Because it is so interesting. I don't want to see that visual style go to waste. It is really, really interesting. And even at the time, and even nowadays, I don't really see a lot of old school animation in that particular old school style. So, it's got this cool, edgy vibe to it. And that's what I like so much about it. Maybe it's not one I remember as fondly as some others. It's not one I hate by any means, but I'm sure the creative team worked very, very hard. But good lord, that visual style. Good stuff.